An American assassin named Jack, George Clooney, is unwinding with his girlfriend, Ingrid, Irina Björklund, in a secluded cottage in Dalarna, Sweden. The two decide to stroll along the neighboring ice lake. Ingrid observes several tracks while moving. As soon as someone starts shooting at them, Jack gets suspicious and takes Ingrid to safety behind a big boulder. As he finds the body, Jack orders Ingrid to go back to the cabin and call the police after killing the shooter. He shoots her in the back of the head as she runs past him. Jack looks for the potential second gunman after having a suspicion. He kills another armed man by approaching from behind. Jack visits Rome, Italy, and makes touch with Pavel there, Johan Layson. The person who gives Jack his assignments is Pavel. Usually, they don't actually meet. Jack is sent to Castelvecchio, a tiny settlement in the Abruzzo Mountains, by Pavel, who maintains that he cannot remain in Rome. After feeling uneasy upon his arrival in Castelvecchio, Jack proceeds to drive to Castel del Monte while hurling the phone Pavel had handed him out the window. Father Benedetto, Paolo Bonicelli, a retired priest, befriends Jack while he is hiding out at Castel del Monte. Father Benedetto recognizes that Jack is not who he claims to be and is having trouble finding his way. Jack, who is now going by the name Edward and posing as a photographer, rejects the father's push to seek forgiveness. When Jack contacts Pavel, he offers him a different job, one where he won't have to kill anyone. After making the decision to accept the position, Jack meets Mathilde Thekla, a dubious Belgian who demands that he create a small firearm with the accuracy and firing power of a rifle. Jack starts working on the weapon as he starts paying Clara, a local prostitute, money Violante Placido. Jack also becomes aware that a young Swedish man named Samuli Varamo is following him and is possibly connected to the individuals who attempted to kill him in Dalarna. One day, Mathilde and Jack get together to test the weapon that Jack built in the neighboring woodland. She requests some more changes to it as well as some unique ammunition. One day, Clara and Anna Foglietta, a friend, were having coffee when they noticed him and entered to say hello. When Clara asks Jack out on a real date, their romance develops further. One night, as the Swedish assassin pursues him, Jack maneuvers himself into an ambush position. However, just as he is about to fire from behind, one of his neighbors riding a Vespa scooter speeds past, alerting the assassin, who then fires, missing Jack but killing the man on the scooter. The Swede gets into his car and sped off, so Jack grabs the scooter and pursues him. Jack fires at the Swede, shattering the car's back window and then its front tire. The vehicle wrecks. In order to avoid colliding with the car, Jack must put the scooter down. He then stands up and sprints to the driver's window, breaking it with his elbow. When the Swede is halfway out of the window, he reaches in and grabs him, yanking him out before twisting and snapping his neck. The following day, Jack runs into Father Benedetto while out for a walk. Jack's involvement in the fatal shootings the day before is suspected by the father, who once more offers to accept Jack's confession. Jack reacts by saying that all men have sins, including Father Benedetto, and makes it apparent that he has discovered that Father Benedetto fathered an illegitimate son by the name of Fabio, who works as a mechanic and also participates in illegal activities in the neighborhood. Jack uses Fabio to help him get the materials he needs for the suppressor he's making for Mathilde's weapon. Jack finds a little revolver in Clara's purse while looking through it, which makes him start to wonder about her. Along with following her, he witnessed her meeting with some intimidating-looking individuals. When she doesn't make an attempt, he decides to confront her about the gun in her handbag rather than killing her as he had planned while they were out for a picnic. Clara reveals that she has the weapon because there had been several attacks on prostitutes in the neighborhood. She goes on to say that the persons she was speaking with were detectives working the case. Jack agrees to give Mathilde the weapon after one more conversation with Pavel, but he informs Pavel that this would be his last assignment. Pavel doesn't appear to agree with that at all. When Mathilde takes the briefcase and excuses herself to go to the restroom, Jack becomes worried that she could try to kill him. In the restroom, Mathilde does ready her gun before meeting Jack outside the restaurant. A busload of pupils pulls up, and the kids dash between them as they seem to be prepared to engage in an Old West firefight. Mathilde turns around, exits her vehicle, and waves goodbye. Pavel contacts Mathilde as she is leaving and inquires as to whether or not she has killed Jack. She tells him that she was not given the chance. Pavel commands her to locate one. She goes back to town after Jack. In the throng at a nearby religious festival, Jack encounters Clara. She gladly accepts his invitation to accompany him on his trip. In the meantime, Mathilde has killed a neighborhood resident in his home and climbed a rooftop, putting Jack in the line of fire of the gun he just gave her. When she pulls the trigger, the gun malfunctions, exploding a shell in her right eye, causing her to fall back and over the roof. It appears that Jack set up the rifle to accidentally fire after beginning to worry that he might have been Mathilde's designated target. When Jack notices Mathilde falling from the roof, he gives Clara an envelope containing cash and instructs her to go to where they had their picnic by the river and wait for him there. Jack visits the spot where Mathilde was sprawled out. He demands to know her employer despite the fact that she is still alive. She mumbles, "I also work for Pavel," before passing away. Arriving are Father Benedetto and a number of altar boys who had been in the procession. Jack apologizes to Father Benedetto before departing and starting to hunt for Pavel. Jack turns to face Pavel just as he has the upper hand and fires. Two of Jack's own shots are successful, with one striking Pavel in the forehead and killing him. Jack finds himself bleeding and knows he has been fatally wounded as he heads to the picnic area by the creek to meet Clara. Clara beams with happiness as he approaches the picnic area, just as Jack passes out and collapses against a nearby tree, seemingly dead.